So you shot some travel video footage that isn't great, but you'd still like to edit it into something, so you're looking for ways to make it better. Or maybe you're just working on your video editing skills and would like to learn some new tricks. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you 3 ways to take that mess of travel footage, whether it's shaky, poorly lit, or just plain boring, and make it look more entertaining, more exciting, and more shareable with these video editing tricks. I'm telling you, video editing is powerful. Hi friends, I'm Alicia and you're watching AMaeTV, where I produce travel videos and provide video production instruction to help you level up your travel vlogging skills. And I'm gonna come clean about something. I was not always the best videographer, especially when I first started travel vlogging. I'm really not the best videographer now. Editing has always kind of been my thing. And especially back in the day, when I first started travel vlogging and I would bring home some pretty awful footage, I was glad that I had some editing skills because I was able to learn plenty of little tricks and techniques to take some pretty awful travel footage and make it look good enough to at least convey a story and get my travel vlogging channel going. Because it's all about starting and learning as you go. So I will demo some of these edits to you in Final Cut Pro, but I don't want you to take this as a software tutorial as much as an overall instruction of editing concept and technique. So if you are using a different editing suite, you can very likely apply the same principles there. Number 1, shred it up. It's pretty obvious in editing that you're going to cut the footage. You're going to remove the bad parts and leave the good parts. But what I really want you to consider doing is going extreme with this and shred that bad footage up. So that means lots of tiny, tiny cuts, tiny, tiny shreds. Dice it. It's gonna look good. So we are going deep into the AMaeTV travel footage archives to grab some footage from Ireland in 2015. Visiting Ireland was a great opportunity to get beautiful footage, but I mostly blew it by only using my new GoPro at the time, the Hero 4, and never actually stopping to try to get good shots. Needless to say, I was not a serious YouTuber then. I was just kind of like, I'm traveling and I'm kind of filming and I'm with my boyfriend and I've got a GoPro. I may have also had a wee bit too much Guinness in a few of those Ireland videos. However, I got home and I got the footage cleaned up. It's not amazing, but it's a major improvement over what the footage originally looked like. So let's watch the finished intro to my top 10 things to do in Dublin video. This is a video that got over 260,000 views on YouTube, so that's not bad, right? The point of it was just to kind of summarize me exploring Dublin by compiling clips of me doing these different twirls and things before the video begins. Now let's take a look at the longer versions of a few of these shots. Bad, so bad. It's like I don't even know what I'm filming. I'm just waving the camera around. I really could not manage to hold that for longer. I really don't know how to end this shot, so I'm just gonna keep on going here. Here's some incredible acting. Wait, am I acting or am I talking? Here we've got like 1 second of no camera shake before we stop filming for whatever reason. Here I'm filming some random people outside of the bar, but I'm too nervous to actually just film them steadily, so it's super shaky because filming random people is an awkward thing to do. Really just a split second there before I start whipping the camera around again. This shot of the bubbles is a bit better, but still paring it down to just the action is always a good idea. But still, in editing, I was able to take those shots, just slice up just the tiniest, best parts of each one, mash them all together, and come up with an intro. Also so important is to cut everything to music. Music is a fantastic distraction, and it also just makes everything feel better, which makes everything look better somehow. Now, if these shots were done right, we probably would have planned them out a little bit better, maybe done a few different takes. We would have been very careful to hold the camera very steady, and honestly, we would have used a different camera. Those old GoPros are the worst for shake. Leave me a comment and let me know your bad habits while filming and what you could have done to make them better. I would like to know that at least some of you at some point have done the same things that I did. Speed it up. So this next tip is one that'll help with both shaky footage and boring footage. This shot of the bus kind of says, hey, we're cruising through Dublin. But if I were to just show the bus for a long time, it would be super boring. And if I were to just show you a short clip of the bus barely moving, it would also be boring. So I added a speed ramp to the whole sequence, speeding up just the center of the clip by about 4 times. This way, the viewer can take in all of the movement through the city without getting bored with it. A speed ramp like this allows you to express more in less time. This little trick is also great for covering up shaky footage. It's almost like if you make it look unnatural by making it so fast, then no one expects it to look all perfect. It's almost like a hyperlapse effect. This clip starts out good because I'm not moving and this Irish lad was kind enough to give me a wave. But then I sort of ruin it by walking all around and moving around to start my intro. So in Final Cut, I isolate that shaky part and then double the speed. And then I slow it back down just in time to start talking.
Check out Grafton Street.
It all happens so fast this way that I feel like it helps the viewer become part of the movement rather than just sitting there watching how bad it actually is. When it comes to mind tricks, speed is your friend. So is slow motion, and if you haven't seen my recent video on how to film the perfect slow motion, I suggest you check it out because slow-mo is a fantastic hack for evening out camera shake. Correct and color. So you've probably heard of color grading, but if you're dealing with really bad footage, you'll more likely need to start with something that's more often called color correction. And if you don't already know this, the video that comes out of any sort of a camera besides maybe the iPhone is actually designed to be color graded before it's going to look good. Or if it wasn't shot with the proper white balance in the first place, then it's going to need to be color corrected. Now, any editing software is going to provide tools so you can apply basic color and exposure corrections, but in Final Cut, we are dealing with these color boards here. I think recent GoPros have improved, but my old Hero 4 never did capture footage with any sort of nice looking color. What I did with pretty much all of the Ireland footage was bring up the exposure globally. They continue to push the highlights and the midtones just to get some decent contrast in there, and then to balance it all back out, I would bring down the blacks. The other thing I'd have to do just to make things pop at least a little bit was dramatically increase saturation. This would really help to warm up the skin tones and make things prettier. It also didn't help that Ireland was not only dark, but also pretty just drab and just like not bright at all. So a little bit of sun even behind those clouds would have helped things out, but you know, that's Ireland. Now, if your white balance is off or if there's any kind of color cast on your clip, the easiest way to correct it in Final Cut is to simply choose Modify Balance Color, or you can select this icon right here and it will automatically do the same. This method is not always perfect, so for additional fine-tuning, you're going to want to go into your color panel and then you can add or subtract different colors to the highlights, midtones, or shadows. Here I had to push some blue into the highlights to balance out this drab, yellowy look that you see kind of throughout everything. Now, this was back when I would attempt to color grade every single video by hand, and it was a huge hassle. Since then, as you know, I've developed a variety of different LUTs or video filters that make my videos look mostly awesome in 1 or 2 clicks. It takes so much work out of it. So let's look at this fun intro clip and strip off all of the old color grading to get it back to its natural state. And let's see what happens if I apply one of my new LUTs to this old footage. This one is called Misty Morning, and I think it's quite nice here. It sort of gives the whole thing that vintage feel. And this is tempting when you're dealing with any old world European type footage. Porcelain gives it this nice bright look, more of a black and white style without going full black and white. Rebel here is one of my faves. It's got that teal and orange look that is always quite stunning. So you can take a look at the before and after on a handful of these. But either way you do it, now you know that that is the power of color correction and color grading to make bad footage look a lot better. And of course, you can check out my very own LUTS packs at AMaeTV/shop. I designed them specifically for travel vlogs. They will make you look better on camera, and they will make the amazing, beautiful scenery that you're showing off look better too. So there you have it, 3 tips for making bad video footage look better with editing. Although it is best to just film great footage in the first place. Unfortunately, there are plenty of resources here on AMaeTV to help you do just that. I recommend checking out 5 mistakes for travel vloggers to avoid, and also the 12-step travel video, which is a guide to help you along through the entire travel video production process. I will link to these videos as well as a few others below, and I do hope you watch them so you can get a better idea of how to make the best travel video possible. Watch them right now so I can see you guys over there. Bye!